This is the right way to get ripped for the first time. I, starting from the beginning, had the skinny fat body build. So I didn't really know the approach to take from going to that to fit. But if I could go back in time and speak to myself and tell myself exactly what to do, this is what I would tell myself. So because I had the skinny fat body build in the beginning, what I would do straight away is go on a cut. And what this is going to do is basically just shred all of the excess body fat that I have, because I had quite a bit of excess body fat around my midsection just here, but my arms were underdeveloped. So I would go on a cut straight away. Excuse me. And what I would do is I would start working out as soon as possible, ASAP. The reason I would start working out straight away is because, let's say you're starting out with a skinny fat physique like I did. You're going to have very slender arms, but with quite a wide waist section with quite a high body fat percentage around your waist. So if you start training straight away, you're going to build muscle. Also with that physique, your muscles are underdeveloped with a high body fat percentage. That's why you look skinny, but you're not skinny. Just need a towel real quick. So as soon as you start working out, you're going to wake up your muscles. Your muscles are going to start expanding, getting bigger and developing whilst in a cut. So I would eat about 200 to 300 calories under your maintenance. So what that's going to do, that's enough to still build muscle, but at the same time lose the body fat. And let's say you're training your arms quite frequently, you're going to fill out your arms more. Your waist is going to be getting a lot slimmer. And I would shred all the way down until I had visible abs and I looked quite lean looking at myself. And once I got to that point, I would go on a very slight lean bulk. So just 200 calories to 300 calories in a surplus. So 200 calories or 300 calories over your maintenance calories. And what this is going to do is just going to, once you've got to that lean point, you don't want to stay in that lean state for too long. And this is what I done. And this is the mistake that I made in the beginning. And this gave me quite a lot of injuries and I kind of plateaued for a very long time because of this. So in the beginning, well, when I got to that point where I was really lean, I was only eating around about 1,800 calories, which is quite low. I think it was around about 1,700 calories to be fair. So I was eating this and I sustained this for about a year. So I cut down and got rid of all of that body fat in about 6 months. And then I sustained that amount of calories for about a year. It was around about lockdown time. So I'd done this for so long, and then it got to the point where when I was in the gym, I was really weak and I could barely lift maybe 50 kg on a chest press. That's how weak I felt. And no matter how hard I trained or no matter what I'd done, I was picking up injuries left, right, and center. And looking back, it was because my body didn't have the nutrients to function or have enough calories to maintain good health, really. I was quite lean at the time. I'll insert a picture. But it was biting me in the butt because I stayed in this state for too long. And what I needed to do is either eat maintenance calories or go back on a bulk, because you can't, once you've stripped all of the body fat off of you, you can't stay in that state for too long. And if you're eating less and less and less and less, or staying in a deficit for too long, you'll get to a point where your body can't shred anymore. You need to start going on a bulk or maintaining at least. But what I would recommend is to go on a calorie surplus so you can fill out your frame a bit more, so you can have a bit more muscle mass. So when you do go on a cut to shred the slight excess body fat that you do have, or pick up on that bulk, you can shred that down and have a lot more muscle mass on you afterwards. So that's the mistake I made, and that's the story that I had. So if I could go back to change that, I would have got to that point that I got to where I was really lean. And then after that, I would have just continued on a slight bulk and lean bulked over time. and that would have got rid of the injuries, and that would have got rid of the plateauing in the gym. And because I plateaued, by the way, in the gym, it got to a point for me, and I had these injuries. It got to the point where it was really demotivating, and it was it got to the point where I just couldn't be bothered anymore. So I just stopped going to the gym for ages, and I put back on quite a bit of weight at the time, and I got out of shape again. So all of that would have been avoided if I just went on a slight surplus. At that point in time, I was thinking about food 24/7. I would eat my first meal, think about the second meal. I would eat the second meal, think about the third meal straight away. I would eat my third meal, and as soon as I'd finished my third meal, I'll be thinking about the next day needs to hurry up and come so I can eat my first meal again. You don't want to be in that position. So these are the things that I suggest going forward. You want to go on a calorie deficit, shred all the body fat. Once you've shred the body fat to the point where you can see your abs, whilst being in the gym and working out at the same time, by the way. And once you've got to that point, you want to start slowly building it back up. But because you're working out, because the calorie surplus is only very slight, you're not going to put on or go back to the physique that you had before. It takes a while for it to get like that, and I'd say if you're eating maybe like 500 calorie surplus or even 1,000 calorie surplus, that's how you'll get back to that point. But even so, you wasn't working out at that point. So you're working out now and you're eating only slightly above calories or your maintenance calories. So you'll get to the point where you're just filling out your frame and you'll build more muscle mass. Said all that to say, you need consistency, cut down, slightly build it back up, and then if you want to, cut that back off, and then just repeat the cycle until you're at a point where you like your size, and then just eat maintenance, really. It's been your boy Aaron 5. If you need any coaching or if you need any additional help, just message me on Instagram, aaron5.gym. I'll help you out. Yeah, that's all I've got to say today. That's what helped me. That's what I'd say to myself going back if I was to start again. Appreciate all of you watching. I'm out.